All right, we are live. Welcome back to another watch party. It is the Brooklyn Nets taking on the Miami Heat. Welcome back, everyone, to the watch parties. We are not shying away from these. The other day was not a great showing by any means. The Nets dropping to the league worst Washington Wizards by 17 points the last time out. The Nets had won 3 prior to that. And, the Houston Rockets were on the receiving end of a couple of those wins that we were able to notch up, which probably won't count for much in the end. But that being said, I mean, we do have the Rockets pick, so every loss that they get is valuable. And so maybe that'll count for something down the stretch or by the season's end. A couple of games are going on around the league which will concern us today. The Raptors, the Jazz, the Washington Wizards, and the Charlotte Hornets, all ahead of us in the lottery odds, will be or are playing right now. And so we've got to keep a watchful eye on those games. But we're playing the Miami Heat, who are a game above 500. They are 25-24 on the season, and they have made a pretty big roster change in terms of offloading Jimmy Butler, and into the squad involves Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, Davion Mitchell, all of which who are inactive tonight, so we won't be seeing those fresh faces. However, we've still got a fair bit of star quality to deal with. We're talking Tyler Herro, Bam Adebayo. Those two are, of course, going to be the main troublemakers, I would imagine, for the Nets, like in terms of who they've got to deal with today. It's not going to be easy by any stretch. But this is the third or fourth game at home. The Nets have only won 6 games at home this season, and only one since that game where they held Indiana to 90 points. The big bit of news, though, which Zach has just highlighted in the chat, Ben Simmons is getting bought out, so I don't believe he's on the bench tonight. And so he's probably, I think he's going to either one of the, LA Clippers, the Cleveland Cavaliers, or the other team, I believe. I think there's another team in the sweepstakes, but I think the Cavs and the Clippers are the two front runners, which, you know, they're going to be great coups for both teams. I don't think the Cavaliers really need Ben Simmons. I feel like that'd be highly unnecessary for them, but he will open up a lot of shooting for the team. It's more because they don't have any floor spaces in their front court. I mean, Dean Wade's one of those, but in terms of Jarrett Allen and Mobley can hit threes, but would you back Ben Simmons and Mobley at the same time as a front court pairing? I'm not so sure. Or would you play Ben at the point guard position? I don't think they need to. They've got Ty Jerome, they've got Garland, they've got Donovan Mitchell. They've got a number of guards that they can rotate through, and Ben Simmons doesn't need to be an added option. I feel like that's a very luxury sort of signing, but the Clippers probably need that. With the squad they have available. I think their centers are like, I feel like their centers or like point guard position, that isn't really strong. I think they've only got one or two like proper good players for each. James Harden's one. I think Chris Dunn comes off the bench for them at point guard, and they've gotten rid of Bones Highland, and who wasn't getting minutes anyway, and someone else. There's been a lot of movement on the Clippers end, so not 100% sure what team Ben's going to go to, but I think for the Nets it's going to be a win because our record is significantly better with Ben in the lineup compared to when he's not. I think we're 13-20 with him in the lineup and 4-14 without. So with him not in the team, instantly the shooting percentages go down because his passing is... I feel like players on this team are very well rehearsed with the Ben Simmons passing play, probably because that happened so many times in the offseason and it's just become a rhythmic thing for these players. And also for the fact that without Ben Simmons, we don't have a super identifiable backup point guard. Cam Johnson can handle the rock. D'Lo can handle the rock with the starting unit. It's going to be interesting to see whether those two are staggered, or we get Trent and Watford to play some point guard minutes. That could be another alternative option. But there's not a ton of playmaking or that sort of thing with this squad. So I'm interested to see what that is going to result in from a Nets standpoint when it comes to results. The results game, the Nets have, outside of that 3-game win streak we had a couple games ago, it's been pretty loss heavy, the results. So I feel like if we trend in that same direction, we're probably going to be, well, I think what this team would be hoping for, or the front office and the higher ups would probably be hoping this team does not exceed 25 games in terms of wins. We're at 17 at the moment, and we've got 30 or so games left in the season. So an 8-23 record or less. I don't know what pace that is for, or what pace that's on for. Let me just have a look. If we were to win 8 of our next 31, 8 divided by 31, 26%, and we times that by 82, that should tell us. That's a 21 win pace. So it's not, yeah, that wouldn't actually be much different to what we'd end the season with if we went on such a pace. Last time out against the Wizards, I think a number of things went wrong, but the number one main thing was the defense. Jordi Fernandez was not happy about that because we allowed 23 pointers and allowed the Wizards to shoot 54%. It really didn't feel like we had any level of intensity defensively for the whole game. And there really weren't too many contributors. The bench played a lot of minutes, but the starting 5 really didn't set the tone from the outset. They were all in the negative in the plus minus. The same could not be said for the bench. And like Jalen Wilson was a plus 12 in 30 minutes. But outside of that, like, you know, I think the starters, their minutes were drip fed and they were still shocking in the plus minus. So I feel like the improvement's going to need to be seen from the starting group, which is the same from a couple nights ago. And from a Heat standpoint, we've got Duncan Robinson, Herro, Highsmith, Khalil Ware, and Bam Adebayo, the 5 for the Heat. So they are definitely the better looking team on paper. Also, other news for the Nets, Cam Johnson is going to be in the 3-point contest. So obviously the first net to do that since Joe Harris. And Joe Harris was pretty successful when he was when he appeared and was a participant in the 3-point contest. We're about to get this one underway, so make sure to drop a like on the stream to support it, and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for Nets Hornets on the weekend. That is, or start of next week. That is a massive game, with the Hornets only a few games back in the standings. And them currently playing today, that could be actually very, very important. That could actually be very, very important the way the games go today. I mean, we're talking if the Hornets win and the Nets lose, and then, of course, the Hornets win and the Nets lose in that head-to-head fixture in a couple of days' time, all of a sudden that gap shrinks yet again. And with other results potentially going our way, that could help us a great deal. But we're about to get underway in this match. The Nets have Claxton, Johnson, Williams, Keon Johnson, who's fresh off a 25-point outing. He is averaging 19 points a game in the last 6, which is a bit strange on good efficiency. But really, there hasn't been too many like good performances in our losses. So, you know, our leading players are going to need to succeed today if the Nets want to win this game. And it's really a no-brainer. It's pretty common sense. We are underway, though, and there was an early foul on, I'm not too sure who, I think Bam Adebayo. And it seems like there'll be a fair bit of physicality between him and Claxton in this game. Ware cuts to the basket, blocked by Claxton. Ware saves. There's an open three for Herro. He lets the defender fly by and misses. He's short on the three. And Williams in with the rebound. Will get it to Russell quickly. Cross court to Keon Johnson. He's got Robinson as the assignment, so I'd look to attack that with Johnson's acceleration. Russell's three is off. He's on a little bit of a shooting slump at the moment. Even in our win against Houston, he was 3 of 15. Ware to the corner. Robinson's ready to fire. Splash. Rips the cords, and the Heat are on the board for the first time. So 3-0 start for the Heat. The Nets have come up with an early miss. Johnson with the backdoor cut was not on. Cam Johnson on the outside will drive it in on Herro and couldn't create that separation. So with 4 to shoot, D'Lo's going to need to put one up or see a backdoor cut. Claxton had to contort the body, missed the shot, but Williams gets the rebound. D'Lo the extra to Keon Johnson over Adebayo. That's way too long. It goes through the legs. Body's on the floor. But the Heat are the winners of that loose ball. And Herro will lob it up to Adebayo. 5-0 start. So a couple empty trips for the Nets. They could get into an early hole if they're not careful. Good feed by Russell. Johnson 3. Corner 3 is good. Right in front of the Nets. And in the spirit of him getting chosen for the All-Star weekend at the 3-point contest, he knocks down that first 3-pointer there. Highsmith on the wing. Back up to Herro up top. Looks like Williams has that assignment. Herro with the cross. Ware with the alley-oop jam. And Herro's had 2 of those already. So they've got a Twin Towers front court. And it's going to be pretty tough to stop if those lob attempts are going to be sent in on a regular basis. Russell's picked up by Adebayo. Claxton will roll. Russell gets inside and is able to score the layup very craftily. 7-5. And Adebayo will bring it up. High screen. Herro gets inside. There's the lob again! It's a lob party. We've got 3 of those in as many minutes. And the Heat are up by 4. It's an impressive start. Johnson. Hesitation. Lost the ball. Highsmith, good defense. Adebayo will come up with the steal. And the Heat will play early offense. Robinson. Drive in. Layup over Claxton. It's good. And it looks like Jordi Fernandez is just going to let it run. Going to see if the team can play through this before he calls an early timeout. Cam Johnson. Guarded by Herro. Bounces it into Russell, who's fouled. It was a great feed, by the way, to Claxton. However, the whistle saved them in the end. And it will be a side out for the Nets. So Nets will have to do things all over again. Oh, that's a nice little backdoor cut there by Claxton. And D'Lo read it backdoor, but unfortunately that was deflected out of play by Ware. Wow, that's a bit of a rogue pass. Claxton has to go fetch it. Johnson on the wraparound, the drive in, the kick out. Russell, pump fake, pirouette, lost the ball going up, and it's Highsmith with another strip. Herro will hold play up. They'll play in the half court now. Blows by Williams. There's a strip. Now we're going the other way. Russell lets the C's part. The 3 is off. Johnson gets the offensive board. Russell. Oh my God. Johnson got in the way. It was intended for Williams. It did get there in the end. 6 to shoot. Russell. Pocket pass. Claxton blocked by Ware. And we have another side out. It will still be Nets ball, but it's been an overly prolonged possession. So 11-5. No look to Johnson. He's got... What is he doing? Oh my God. How do we get a shot up? Another offensive rebound. Williams, the 3's off. We've had 3 or 4 attempts on one trip and not one of them looked close. Adebayo the spin on Johnson. shoots in the mid-range and hits. And that's the difference right there. I mean, Bam getting to his spot. Meanwhile, we've got Zaire taking a three-pointer, and Jordi Fernandez has seen enough. 4.5 minutes into the game, he will call an early timeout with the lead 8, the way of Miami, and the box score will tell you a story. I put Claxton in the plus minus because I'm off memory. Remember, he had a very good first half against the Heat a few weeks ago, but his second half he dropped away a little bit. Herro has not scored, but he's got 4 assists. And he's far and clear their best player at the moment, because if it wasn't for him, I'd love to see where the offense is at. 2 of 9 shooting for the Nets. That has killed them early on. Nets have turned the ball over a couple of times. Highsmith with a couple of steals to his name. Looks like Herro's got 5 assists, actually. And Bam's led the way with plenty of lob threats coming his way, or lob passes coming his way. And Robinson's hit a 3 and being very smart with ball in hand. But for the Nets, all they've done is rack up a ton of rebounds and have been pretty unsuccessful with those second chance opportunities they're getting. It's a 13-5 lead, and the Nets are 2 of 9. I tell you what, it is not often that the Nets have a longer bench than the opposition. Quite a few inactive players tonight, with no Andrew Wiggins, no Kyle Anderson, no Davion Mitchell. I don't know if this is the last game we play against Miami this season, because I would have loved to have seen how we go against them with their new players, or like what that roster construction would look like. It looks like today is the last Heat game of the season, so we're going to have to wait a whole year for the next match to come up between these two teams. Clax has already attempted 3 shots, which is just great, especially given he's missed every single one of those. So 13-5. Heat off to a pretty good start. They'd be very happy with the way they've opened this game up. (13-5) the score. We will proceed with almost looks to be the exact same lineup. And it looks like there may be a little bit of persistence with this group. Looks like the Heat are running the same 5. I don't see any movement from a net standpoint either. Yep, the groups are the exact same for both sides. It'll be Keon Johnson inbounding into Claxton. And now Russell on the outside creates a bit of space with the defender. We'll get it back from Cam Johnson. Moves inside, kick out. Johnson, Russell relocates. 3 ball, that's short. And a rebound for Adebayo. Think we've taken way too many threes. Herro's going to step into one and knock it down like it's absolutely nothing. 16-5 opening. They are 7 of 10 from the floor. Nets only the 2 makes. Johnson's going to keep on shooting. Claxton gets the offensive rebound, and the pirouette, he scores for 2. A little bit of a rim grazer, but a good post move nonetheless over Khalil Ware. And the Nets, their cold streak ends there. Kickball on Zaire Williams. There's a lot of jostling off the ball between Adebayo and Claxton. Russell will head to the bench now with the score 16-7. And it looks like Wilson and Watford are going to check in. Keon Johnson also out. Herro. Cross gets by Cam Johnson. Wilson's there to help, but it opens up a shooter on the perimeter. Highsmith 3 off Where the offensive rebound? That's off. And Watford hits the deck as he collects the ball. So a strong rebound. Nets will look to close the gap a little bit here. Johnson, too much on it. Gets his own miss. Bounces it to Watford. Good cut. Back out to Williams, who's going to shoot a three. That is outlandish. But he hits the tray, and Williams is trying to hype his squad up. His first make of the game. Jovic is getting ready to come into the game. I swear he always has a good match against us. Herro with the scoop. Doesn't get the angle. Nets get the board. Williams will run. It's a 3-on-2 break. You got to attack the rim. Watford the cut, the reverse, and the make. 7-0 run for the Nets in quick time. 77 seconds to be exact. So, good response out of the timeout by Brooklyn. Well, since the subs were made, Adebayo rolls to the rim. At the elbow, will pick up his dribble. And he's going to loop it back out to Herro. Good defense by the Nets. 2 on the clock. 1 on the clock. And off glass, Herro hits. That was such a bailout. But good creation and good craft by Herro. We've got 3 changes for the Nets getting ready to collect the 3 remaining starters on the floor. Watford back to Cam Johnson. He's got the larger defender on the outside. Claxton rolls. It's good defense by the Heat, though. They blanket the passing attempts. And with 3 to shoot, we've got to put one up. It's Wilson at the elbow, and he's able to score with the right. That's a good move. I wouldn't say it's generally high percentage with Jalen Wilson, but here we are. 4-point game. Adebayo to the wing. The pick set. Adebayo. Back to Robinson. Roller is Highsmith. Numbers open up. It's Ware right in front of the bench. It's an air ball. Duck for cover. That was such an awful miss. The Nets in transition. 3-ball. Yes! Timeout Miami. And the Nets, after finding themselves down 11, have gone and responded with a 12-2 burst of their own. And it's just coming off a few stops that we're forcing. Obviously, we're incredibly happy to allow Ware to shoot 3-pointers. Granted, there's been games he's hit those at a very good percentage. I'd rather that than Duncan Robinson shooting threes. So we ran him off the line, forced the kick out to a not as good 3-point shooter, and we're reaping the benefits of that. So that is probably us reading the scouting report and identifying what's going to work and what's not. Or playing into, you know, some opportunities that you can get with this Miami squad in terms of where their points of weakness are. But the Nets have done well responding. Now, every single net on the board scoring-wise, we started awfully. 2 of 9 from the field, but we have hit 2 of our last 3 3-pointers. And on top of that, 5 of 9 from the field since we last checked. Or should I say 5 of 8. Miami have dropped away a little bit. They've only made one of their last 4 shots, and they still have not really given any of their bench run yet. So Jovic will be getting ready to check in. And look, it's been not a bad start by Miami. Herro's been in just about everything. It's almost going to be a matter of just forcing the ball out of his hands. And with that, there's going to be a great deal of responsibility thrust onto whoever is assigned to Herro. I've noticed early my observations are saying that Zaire is going to be the primary defender. And it feels like with the backup minutes, maybe Jalen Wilson gets that job. But I think it's going to be really a team effort because, you know, the defensive rotations have really helped us out. All right. So 1 point game. 4 minutes to play in this opening quarter. Good response by the Nets. Adebayo will get it here. Still on the floor. Dayron does not contest the shot, but Bam did, well, the work for us, and he hit back iron. Wilson. Hand off to Watford. Martin on the wraparound. Watford. Behind the back. 6 to shoot. Gets inside. And with the push shot is well short. That looked highly disjointed there. So Heat have made a few changes. Huckers is in with Jovic. Adebayo is fouled by Sharp. And the Nets have been pretty good with not fouling so far in this game. I believe these would be the first free throws of the match between either side. So 2 looks here for Adebayo. Nets have all of their bench in. Tosin, Dayron, Watford, Martin, and Wilson all on the floor. Terry Rozier comes in for relief for Tyler Herro. All right, 19-17. Bam Adebayo only hits the 1 of 2. And it's a 2-point game. Nets can tie things up here. Sharp. Blow by. Oh! Layup +1. Well done by the number 20, and he can get our 20th point at the free throw line here. That's incredibly surprising. Bam just let him go right by, and I thought Dayron was going to lose it vertically, but did well there to remain controlled and was able to usher the ball in, and now converting that free throw to give the Nets the lead after trailing 16-5 early in the first quarter. They're on a 15-3 run in just a little over 3.5 minutes. Huckers. Great defense by the Nets. Multiple players going vertical with Huckers. Jovic gets it in. Herro's still out there. So Herro and Bam playing the entire first quarter or so, it seems. Jovic to Rozier. It's good rotations. It's forced a step back 3 by Terry. But he's not so scary. Here's Tosin. Drive in. Spin. Picks up his dribble. Wilson's not shy. He shoots over the smaller defender and knocks that one down from the perimeter. The Nets on an 18-3 run, and Herro's been, well, held pretty quiet in this little run. It's been good defense off the ball. And they're running sets for their lesser lights. Jovic, why have we gone under the screen? It's a bad miss. Sharp was able to knock it away, but Huckers still ends up with it, and Herro will pump fake and shoot the 3 and miss. And there's a foul on the floor. Tosin is pleading with the official as if to say, what the hell do you want me to do? How is that a foul? So D'Lo's into the game. I don't know if this is more of a tanking move than anything. Herro. Roller is where? Good gather. And he blew the layup. Huckers. Where gets it again? On the third try, it's Rozier for 3. Yes. How on earth have they wound up with the rebound on that possession? Martin the drive. Kick out to Russell. Pulls the trigger. Splash. The Nets now can't miss. They've made 8 of their last 11. While Miami have made 2 of their last 10 or 11. It's just been completely flipped on its head. Herro the drive down the middle. Good verticality by Sharp, and Martin is able to secure. The Nets will push the pace again. It's D'Lo. No look to Martin. Sharp gets in his way. Oh my fucking God. Are you kidding me? Get the ball out of Tyrese Martin's hands, or if you're a pro tanker, get the ball in Tyrese Martin's hands, because that guy cannot facilitate for his life. Double. Interesting commit there. Herro goes down the middle again. The kick out. Huckers lost D'Lo, missed it, and the rebound is Khalil Wares. He cannot make a shot. Multiple rebounds have not resulted in buckets, and then Martin turns it over again. Imagine my shock, and the Heat will lob it up, and Herro will make the layup. Imagine my shock that Tyrese Martin cannot pass the fucking basketball, man. That is not your game, buddy. Sit in the corner and let the ball come to you. Russell. Drive. Foul on the reach by Huckers going up. It'll be 2 free throws for D'Angelo Russell. So D'Lo with our first proper trip to the free throw line. 27-24 the lead for Brooklyn. Khalil Ware's been incredibly proactive. I'm actually surprised he hasn't been more of a force. I think he's only got the 2 points. He's got 6 rebounds, but only 2 points. If he actually was able to pick up some results on those offensive rebounds, he'd be in double figures already. Rozier hangs in the end the mid-range to convert a, well, very narrow 2-for-1. There's a 3-second difference between shot and game. The Nets just need to look after the basketball here. They'll be pretty content with holding for the final shot. D'Lo guarded by Rozier on the outside. Tosum will set the screen. Switch. 4 to shoot. 3 to shoot. D'Lo inside. Hangs. Nope. 3, 2, 1. Herro with the heave. And that's an air ball. And that's quarter time. So the Nets up by 2 points at quarter time. And they've done very, very well after a very slow start. And this could shape up as a pretty interesting contest, I reckon. 28-26 opening quarter. Let's have a look at the box score, which has drastically changed since, well, in comparison to the other few times that we've looked at it. D'Angelo Russell with 7 in the game, but it hasn't been an efficient 7. However, the Nets have improved their percentages. The Heat have had 6 extra shots due to looking after the ball and being massive offensive rebounders in the opening quarter. I mean, we've been the exact same, but Ware's had a lot of opportunities for tip-ins at the rim. He's got a team-high 6 rebounds. I mean, he accounts for half their rebounding total, yet he is 1 of 7 because of all those tip-ins not actually going in. And as a result, the Heat are not shooting as great of a percentage. The Nets have hit 5 3-pointers. I have no idea what's happened in the background. But the 5 3-pointers are really helping us out the gate. And it was not a point of success early. I think we were 1 of 6 from out there, but we've hit 4 of the next 5. And that propelled us to a lead at quarter time. And so we've got a long way to go in this match. But pretty positive start after pretty positive response after a very slow start. So I can take that. Around the grounds, this is an important watch. Charlotte are beating the Spurs at halftime. The Wizards are beating the Cavaliers right now. And those are probably the 2 main ones. Toronto play OKC and Utah play Phoenix. But those games, I think the Toronto one will happen while we're streaming. But the 2 games that will be a focus right now are the Charlotte game and the Washington game. I mean, Washington are a long way back, but with the way they're winning at the moment, they could be on track to exceed Charlotte. You just never know. So, second quarter action about to get underway between these two. 28-26 the score. And I don't know how many minutes Herro's played. Let's have a quick look. Herro. Herro's played the entire game. Ware's played 10 minutes. Bam's played 10 minutes. I imagine it's going to be a pretty heavy minute allocation tonight for the mainstays of the Miami Heat. Second quarter underway. The Nets of D'Lo, Martin, Day'Ron Sharpe, Williams, and Tosun. The five on the floor. The Heat have got Robinson back out there. Jovic, Rozier, Ware, and Huckers. The men on the floor for Miami and Eric Spoelstra. Rozier with the ball now after Tosun missed his first shot of the quarter. How was Jovic hit that over the outstretched arm of Williams? He just loves this arena. It's cooked. Williams, good backdoor cut, but the pass was a little bit of a grass cutter, and D'Lo had to go get it. Beautiful lob. Miami, I mean, that lob is... You cannot defend that. Like, Ware is so long that he can reach a higher point than anyone else. So, Ware with he's playing a very good game. I remember in the previous meeting we played against Miami, it was, well, we lost that by 9, and it was, how many weeks ago? It was like last week. They only scored the 106 points, but Khalil Ware scored 7 and had 6 rebounds in the game. So he was nothing too special. However, in this game, he's already got 4 points and 7 rebounds. He's got 5 offensive rebounds. At the moment, we're just very lucky that not one of his points have come from second chance points. Because we'd be in a bit of a spot of bother, I will say, if that was the case. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for Nets versus Hornets in a couple of days' time, which will be a pretty big game in context of the tank and the situation that concerns our draft position. Alrighty. Okay. Damn, there's a report that says that only the Wizards in Atlanta would consider taking on Bradley Beal. Don't know how the Suns would feel about getting Alex Len back. Of course, Len played there at Phoenix for a while. Mr. Whammy, it's his birthday today. Huge, huge day for the big man. I don't know how old he is, but he's getting on there in age. 89, Jesus Christ. Definitely doesn't move like he's 89. So, 3-point lead to Miami. They've scored the opening 5 points. So, Nets call an early timeout. They didn't waste no time with that. A minute in, and Geordie's called the timeout already. Wants to get the Nets back on the right page. D'Lo wanted a whistle, but was able to make the best out of a bad situation, and he knocked it out of bounds off of the defender. So the Nets will regenerate from the baseline with 9 to shoot. D'Lo creates the space. Good change of pace. Day'Ron was... Well, he thought there was a foul right in front of the official. No call. It's a 4-on-5 break. Beautiful behind the back. They are playing box office basketball with Khalil Ware out there. He is a troublemaker. 7-0 run for the Heat. Russell, Martin corner pop. That is off. And it looks like this second quarter starting the exact same way that the first began. And D'Angelo Russell is yapping to the official and has been teed up. Let's have a look where the foul was. Oh my God. Rozier has absolutely annihilated Dayron's arm on that layup attempt. And no whistle. Right in front of the official. He's gotten absolutely clubbed. That's a shambles. So, the Heat are off to a very, very good second quarter start. Looks like they didn't score the technical point. Double arrives, knock away, and Dayron will get the steal after D'Lo got the knock away. Beautiful pass to get it ahead. Extra, Tosin is fouled going up, and that is compensation for the bullshit that happened on the previous couple of sequences. Rozier picks up the personal, and it will be a trip to the free throw line for Tosin Owoman, who's shooting the ball very, very well in the last 5. 13 points, shooting over 50% from the field and from the three-point line. Very unique player. Tosin's free throw goes in. Definitely shown a knack to get to the free throw line, which is a good sign. First points for the second quarter coming at the free throw line here. And Tosin makes both free throws, 34-30. Oh my God, we got a tee from the fucking bench. Oh my God. Who the fuck was yapping on the sideline? Keon Johnson apparently got teed up. He reckons he didn't say anything. He probably did say something, but fucking ball don't lie. Let's have a look. Did he say a word? He didn't even say anything. He's not even on the bench. He's not even talking on the bench. What the fuck? Rozier, the stop. He did not go. Jovic is fouled on the pass. Stoppage after stoppage after stoppage. Keon Johnson has decided to remove himself from the situation because he's probably going to get teed up again if he's not careful. Jovic in a switch. Guarded by Russell. Shoots with the left. Dayron with the block. Nets will run. They've got the numbers. Williams down the middle. Extra. Tosin. 3. Yes! Beautiful team basketball. Defense leading to offense. You love to see it. And there's an energy about the way the Nets are playing when they get shots like that. Jaquez will drive in. Turns. Oh my God. How have we left Robinson open for 3 in the corner? Just watch that ball sail in. Looks like it's going to be deemed a 2, the Tosin 3-pointer. Gonna drive in again and hang and miss. Dayron! Oh my God! So it was a throwdown jam, which somehow bobbled out, but it... Let's have a look. Oh, it was in, and then Ware put his hand in the net unintentionally, so the bucket will count. I thought it was a foul, but that would have been ferocious if he did that cleanly. Robinson, run off the line. Layup. Tosin the block. Run. Russell, transition tray. Oh, it's an air ball. Basically was. It's offline. The Nets are going to try halt the break, which they don't do so very well. Ware picks up his dribble. Out. Robinson, drive in. Reverse. Got trapped under the rim. The Nets are going to run. They've got the numbers. Russell, Williams, layup. And he traveled. Goodness me. This is just stoppage after stoppage. It looks like the Heat have been teed up now, and it's Robinson who's pissed off. So the referees have got to get this game under control, because they're getting a little bit trigger happy with the whistle blowing. Was this a foul? Yes. Yes, it was. So 37-35. Keon Johnson back on the floor after he got teed up from the bench. Rozier, beautiful layup. 39-35. 4 minutes gone in this second. So much has happened already. We've had like 3 technical fouls. Watford. Sharp at the elbow. Watford will drive in. Tries to attack the smaller defender and does so beautifully. And Watford is able to muscle his way inside and score off glass to get it back down to a 2-point game. Cam Johnson re-enters. Jovic gets it in the post. Johnson is guarding. Gonna back down the man. Rozier gets by Sharp. Lost the ball. Oh, Dayron's got the butterfingers. That was a steal right there. And Dayron's gonna have to head to the bench. So 8 to shoot for Miami. The Nets never regain possession, so that shot clock does not reset. They get it into Rozier. Oh, Jesus Christ. Watford's closeout was so rash. 3 to shoot. That is an absolute prayer of a 3 by Robinson, and the Nets will 100% live with that. They can retake the lead with the 3-pointer here, but they're going to attack the rim through Johnson, and he can't get the angle. Claxton with 2 bats of it. He gets it back out to Wilson. The Euro. Johnson the 3. Oh, that was online, but just a little bit too long, and it didn't go down. Robinson will use the screen. Rozier. Larsen's in for his first action of the game. Who's going to roll? Looks like there's a hold, and it's on Jalen Wilson. And subs will be made. Adebayo will come into the game. Where will sit? It's good minutes by the Miami Heat bench unit. They've not only been able to get the lead back, but maintain it. Robinson with the backdoor cut, but that wasn't on offer. Rozier on the wing is going to shoot a 3, and that is through. Rozier's been a really good player for them today. He's got the 11 in the game. Johnson. High screen. There's a foul. And it's Larsen who will pick it up. So 5-point lead for the Heat. They have outscored the Nets by 7 in the period. 16-9. Watford to trigger in. Straight to Johnson. It's a beautiful look. He blew the layup, but he's going to get the whistle. And that was a beautiful screen off the ball. To lose the man, I think it was Claxton who set the pick. And it met straight off the inbounds. Johnson had an open look right at the basket, and it forced the rash contest. Free throws for CJ, his first of the game. Hasn't been too many of these free throws. Herro has also returned to the match. Johnson will shoot one more free throw here. And that goes in, albeit unconvincingly. Lead is 3 for Miami. Very, very even contest so far in this game. Rozier to Herro. It's an I think it was a travel, but it also could have been an illegal screen. There's that many potential fouls that could be in this game these days that it leaves the audience guessing, including myself. So, Nets with the basketball here. Watford drive on Larson. Picks the dribble up. Claxton at the elbow. Back out to Wilson. Doesn't use the screen. Instead navigates inside. And there is an offensive foul on Claxton that is highly unintelligent. Yeah, that is clearly an offensive foul and not smart by any stretch. Well, the thinking, I think, was there, but the execution made him look like he had no idea what he was doing. So, inside the second half of this second quarter, the lead is 3 points the way of the Heats. What the actual fuck is going on with these officials? Oh my god, another fucking technical. Are we taking the fucking piss? Mate, they're fucking talking out their ass, these officials. What the fuck are they doing? We got Dumb and Dumber out here wearing black and white zebra uniforms, mate. What the fuck is this bullshit? These officials are absolutely cooked, man. That's our third technical of the fucking quarter. Jesus Christ. Rozier, the 3. Oh my god. He is on an absolute heater. And the lead's up to 7. He's just single-handedly carrying them in this second quarter. He's got 15 in the whole fucking game. Are you taking the piss? And he's 5 of 6 from the floor. Of course he is. Like, just the most random player to catch fire. But to be honest, I'm not remotely surprised by it. It seems to happen all the time. The Heat always have one of these players that just go completely nuts on us. There's been games where it's Robinson. Jovic has had some big ones in the past. But today it looks like Rosie has circled this one on the calendar and said, thank you very much, I'm taking this. But these technical fouls, man, what the fuck, bro? Like, there is absolutely nothing in these technical fouls. And these officials are just, like... I don't even know what to say. Like, there's just simply no way to describe this crap at the moment. NBA refs. Let me see if anyone's saying anything on Twitter. It's just cooked. Like, every single tech. This quarter, bro, like, fuck off. Seriously. How many technicals have we had? Is there a place to look at the technical fouls that have been accumulated? I think it's Watford who's picked up a tech. Johnson's picked up a tech. D'Lo's picked up a tech. Robinson's picked up a tech. Like, the Heat have gotten a 3-pointer off the back of these bullshit technical fouls that they're just plucking them out of absolutely thin air. Highly frustrating, I have to say. I'm happy to lose, but not with the refs stopping the play every single possession. So, Nets have had a pretty good showing in this game, I think. Down by 7. Really, outside of a Terry Rozier cameo, the Heat have not been anything too special. Which is a bit of a shame, but shit happens, I guess. The Raptors are down by 5. The the Wizards are winning by 2, and the Hornets are up by 8 on San Antonio. So let's hope that a lot of those results continue the way they are, because that would help us a great deal. These officials, this is the big 3 of match fixing right here. Like, I don't know what the names of these officials are. I just know them by appearance. They feel like they're a part of the game. There's another foul, and it's Claxton who was locked up with Adebayo. And Trendon Watford's now talking with the official. A lot of stoppages in this second quarter. Jesus Christ. Feels like it's gone forever. Johnson's going to inbound. Got to get it in. And it goes across the court to Cam Johnson. Just as the 5 seconds were expiring. Johnson. Drive in. In the mid-range. Can't convert. Wilson gets the board. And blew the layup. And then blew the other putback. And then it's going the way of the Nets. Wilson, man, I don't know how you missed that layup, but good persistence on the glass to give us another possession out of it. Herro, as he ripped the ball away, then lost the ball out of bounds, so the Nets do well there. 46-39 the score. Bam and Claxton are very, very physical here, and the officials are trying to separate this. So 46-39 the score. It comes into Claxton. He's going to look for Johnson. Bounces it into Keon Johnson. That 3 rattles out. And Herro and Adebayo fight amongst each other for the ball. And for that stat. Herro drives on Wilson. Claxton sends it out of here. Cam Johnson's going to push. Watford, lob it up. Oh my God, that is an absolute shambles. How we can fluff a fast break possession like that so badly, I'll never understand, but the Nets will have the basketball as the Heat deflected into the backcourt and fell out of bounds trying to retrieve it, so it will be Nets ball here. Wilson's going to look for a man, and it'll be Watford who comes to collect the ball in the backcourt. 4:40 left in this second quarter. 8 to shoot. Johnson, he'll get an open look. And that's good defense by Larson, who fought over the screen. And Cam Johnson usually isn't that short on a 3 ball, but Larson's presence was pretty effective. Herro picks up his dribble. Knock away by Claxton. He's going to get it himself, and he's going to flush it. So Clax with the steal and the bucket to cut it to 5. Nets had missed 6 straight shots, so that is a lucky break. Watford came over to close out, and he's just allowed Jovic to knock down a 3 in acres of space. So we've got to be better on the coverage. Can't allow the blow by, because that opens up those very wide open 3s. I don't know how there wasn't a travel in that Johnson drive. Keon Johnson's going to be well defended by Rozier here. And he's going to have to shoot a turnaround jumper, which he hits. Such is the form he's in right now. He can make just about anything. Rozier gets inside. And there is a block by Claxton, but a foul beforehand. And it will be free throws. So 2 shots here for Terry Rozier to get the lead back up to 8. He's just had an absolute blinder of the first half. Up to now 16 points in the match. Russell returns. And so does Zaire Williams. Wilson will sit. I think he's had a pretty good game, to be honest. One more free throw for Rozier. That is seen through. The deuce at the line, and now the Nets will look to trim this one yet again. The Heat have done well to hold off every Nets attack. Backdoor cut by Russell was red. And the Heat get the steal. They'll go early in the clock here. Ware is still on the bench. Played a lot of first half minutes in the early portion of the half. Herro, good defense by Johnson. Jovic on the move. That's short. The board by Keon Johnson. Gets it ahead to Williams, who's going to hop and step into the three. That is badly off. Love to see him drive that in and exploit a pretty wide open Miami defense. Rozier is going to try cross up. Williams. Scoop. It's off. Adebayo gets the miss after Claxton got the denial. And Adebayo will shoot with the right and is too long. The rebound is going to go the way of the... Well, it won't be a rebound, but it trickles out of play off Miami. Nets ball. But the Heat have done well to attack the offensive glass and have been pretty successful with their pursuit. Lead is 8. Johnson. To the corner for Williams. He's going to shoot another 3, and this time it's much better. Cuts it to 5. And that Bam Claxton matchup is one to watch because they continue to be physical with one another, even on that rebounding attempt. Herro. Good ball pressure by Williams. Nets gamble on the steal, aren't successful. The Heat get it to Jovic in the corner. They'll back down Russell. And Claxton blocked it. What an idiot. That was dropping so short. And he's gone for the block. So, that's a pretty careless 2 to give up. I think that was good defense by the Nets, but Nets will get into a set now. Final 2 minutes of this quarter. Good cross-court feed by Russell to Johnson. Takes it in. And it's a blocking foul on Larson. So another good heads-up move by Keon Johnson. Wasn't able to finish, but a trip to the line for him. So, 2 free throws coming up here for Keon Johnson now. And that one is seen through. The Nets have been very good at the free throw line. I cannot recall a free throw we've missed in this game thus far. So, keeping ourselves in the game in that respect, or through that respect, through that element of the game. One more free throw for Keon Johnson with 90 or so seconds left in the quarter. The lead back at 5. It seemed like this is very much a constant. The Nets have made all 10 free throws, so my thinking and conscience was correct. Rozier's got it on the wing. The Nets need to close out this half on a high. Herro cross court to Rozier. Drive, step back 3. Oh my God, that was a good look. And it's going to be out off Bam Adebayo. God, that Rozier 3, if he converted that, it's over for the league. It's over for the league. Because, mate, that was filth. Williams, his closeout was really rash. Who was that off? Ooh. Is that off Bam? How the fuck is it not our ball? What? I mean, the angle I saw probably wasn't doing it justice, but I do not see where Claxton got the ball last. 8 to shoot. Herro will drive on Russell. He gets by him. The kick out to Rozier. Extra. 3. It's off. Nets will get the long rebound and they can push the pace here. Johnson fake the pass to Cam Johnson to take it himself. And he hits the 2 to cut it back to a sole possession again. Inside the final minute. Nets are scoring some timely buckets late here. Johnson guarding Rozier. The double arrives. Bam will take it inside and is well short on the little floater. And Zaire bats it to Keon Johnson. Cam Johnson with the move. The dance moves to just bypass Terry. Had him flat-footed. And Johnson had an easy runway to the basket. It's back down to 1. Highsmith will take it inside. The double arrives. Bounces it into Bam Adebayo. Jovic for 3. That's off. Russell bats it to Claxton. The Nets can take the lead. They have ended this half superbly with the last 7, and they can tack on 2 more here with a make. And there's a foul to give. Sorry. The Nets are in the bonus. And it's a foul off the ball. That is a cardinal sin by Miami. So let's have a look at where the foul was committed. Cam Johnson just got arm barged into Bam Adebayo by Tyler Herro. That is a very big lapse and could be costly by the game's end. Cam Johnson can't make the free throws. So there's the first miss of the game. I can't say I expected it to be. You can't say I expected it to be from Cam Johnson. That free throw was halfway down, so a little bit stiff. Tosan is back into the game for defensive purposes. Cam Johnson with 1 more at the line. Oh my God. He's fucking missed both. Are you taking the piss? Who would have thought that... Wait. Oh my God, there's another free throw. Let's go! So, looks like there was a lane violation and Cam will get 1 more. He's missed 2 in a row. However, the second one doesn't count and he will have another crack at it to make the game a tied game. And he knocks it down. So it's all square. 7 seconds for the Heat to take it end to end. Jovic will bring it up. Do we have a foul to give? Jovic lost the ball. Good defense. And that is a brilliant end to the first half by Brooklyn. The game is all square. And the Nets have fought back yet again after finding themselves in a bit of a hole to find themselves well in the contest at the main break. I did not expect this to be as close as it has been. But Nets have played some good defensive basketball yet again in this game. Defense has not been the issue in our losing streaks. The main issue has been the offense. And look, 53 points isn't on pace for anything too out of this world. But that being said, has felt like we've had some good spurts in the game. And so I think we're in a pretty good place heading into the second half, whether we win or we lose. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We will be back for Nets versus Charlotte on the weekend. But as it stands, I think the big thing for the Nets in this first half so far, free throws. They have made 6 more than Miami. Definitely been more assertive in getting there. The turnovers probably need to be trimmed down. But I feel like we've managed that a little bit better in the second quarter. The Heat have had 7 extra shots, but haven't really capitalized fully. But they have hit a couple of extra 3-pointers, which could be a point of emphasis for Brooklyn in the second half in terms of how they cover this team defensively. It looks like they've played Jovic and Ware an equal amount of minutes. I don't think they expected 17 from Rozier. And so that's made things a little bit easier in terms of not playing Haywood Highsmith, who isn't known for his offense. But that is ultimately what they need. Tyler Herro, after a very good start to the game, has basically been phased out of the game by the Nets. And even Bam Adebayo, very quiet first halves by those two. And so I'm not overly convinced, because I'm pretty sure that was the exact case in the previous game we played against Miami. In the second half, they came to life a little bit more. But Khalil Ware's had a pretty good first half as well. Probably stiff to not be in double figures for points. But look, if Herro and Bam, are trailing Jovic, Robinson, and Rozier, I would take that pre-game talking about this match. From a net standpoint, nearly every net has scored. Really haven't seen too much success with the specific unit. But Cam Johnson's had a pretty good half. 11 points, yet again, well-balanced. Playing a team high in minutes. And D'Lo's got the 8 points, but not as efficient. We've had some good contributions roundabout from Sharp, from Wilson, from Watford. And Keon Johnson closed out the half very strongly with the group. Sayers hit a couple of threes. And Tosin's not been too bad either. Claxton's played pretty good defense on Bam Adebayo. He has not been all that destructive at all, which he usually is. So yeah, that is the halftime situation. If you are enjoying, you know what to do. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe. The Nets probably need to boost up their 3-point percentage and their field goal percentage for that matter. Miami have not shot the ball particularly well either, but that is why the free throws are so important, having 5 or 6 more compared to the opposition. If we go to the team stats, the rebounding effort, well, I would have thought that the Heat are above us in that category, but we're +4. We've had more offensive rebounds, and interestingly enough, the Nets have had 7 less assists than Miami. So a lot of shot creation by Brooklyn has actually been successful, and those free throws have helped us out a little bit. And turnover-wise, look, we probably have conceded a few too many off turnovers, and there's been a few stages where we probably could have been a little bit better on the break, but that number is all square as well. 13 apiece between the two teams heading into the second half. Points in the paint, pretty even as well. I feel like that's going to be a key factor because the three-point shooting isn't working all that well for both teams. But that being said, we talked about this in the Houston game. The minute the three-pointers start falling, whoever does that first, they're going to place themselves in a very, very advantageous position. If we look around the grounds, Charlotte are in command against the Spurs, which is a great sign for the tanking effort. Castle's got 19 off the bench, and he's leading the Spurs in scoring. Wembanyama's 5 of 18, so Charlotte are probably getting a little bit of luck in their favor. Like Miles Bridges, LaMelo, and Nick Smith have been very, very good for Charlotte. Their starters have dominated, so pretty solid effort there by the Hornets. And the Wizards are putting in a shift against the Cavaliers, but they are down by 3 at this stage. Pools at 25, George 14, Koulibaly 12, Kispert 10. So yeah, they're giving it a red hot crack. And then elsewhere, the Bucks up by 18 at halftime. They've already got 5 scorers in double figures. Kuzma with 12 off the bench. So that's obviously his first game in a Bucks uniform. They've scored 47 in one quarter, Milwaukee, after trailing by 10 at quarter time. And for the Hawks, well, they've got not really much talent out there right now because, of course, the injuries and who they traded off and who they don't have available. Detroit beating Philly by 27 with Embiid and Maxey in the group. Malik Beasley's got 20. That's pretty cooked. And the Pistons don't even have Cade Cunningham, which is pretty crazy to think. And the Raptors are down by 7 on OKC, who are full strength, and they've got Chet Holmgren back. So the Raptors are definitely going to have their hands full in that game. Utah Phoenix also still to come. But yeah, there is a lot of basketball that concerns us today. But of course, the main one is this game. Look, I won't be too mad if we lose. Because, yeah, this is another game we probably should not win. Sitting at 53 apiece. But I would love to see a bit of thrill. About our like this game in the second half. I don't want it to drop away and we lose by 20 again. That's not fun to me. So yeah, that is the situation as it currently stands. Hold on a second. Okay. Alrighty. Cool. Alrighty. So, keys to the game for the second half. Whoever wins this game will ultimately be the team that gets, well, is more capitalizing on of these second chance opportunities. I mean, the Nets have got 9 offensive rebounds compared to the 8 for the Miami Heat, but I don't feel like both teams have really put the other to the sword with those offensive rebounds. The 3-point percentage, of course, is massive. Both teams aren't shooting that incredibly well. The Heat 8 of 21, the Nets 6 of 18, and for the Nets especially, the turnovers need to be trimmed down. And ultimately, the defensive intensity is really indicative of where the Nets are today. There's been a couple of good runs by the Nets, which have, resulted in, these runs have basically, shaped the game. Because, outside of those runs, I reckon this game would be well and truly out of reach at the half if the Heat were just able to remain neck and neck. But, look, the Nets have... Let's have a look. In terms of runs, the Nets have gone on an 18-3 run between the 6:52 and 2:43 mark of the first quarter. The Heat then responded with a 12-2 run of their own, but the Nets closed out the first half, going on a 12-4 run in the final 3.5 minutes. So those two runs right there, the 18-3 run and the 12-4 run, I mean, that is a 24-point gap in those two runs just put together. So the fact that this game is all square, it really comes down to the runs. I mean, it is a game of runs. So hold on, let me just get the aircon on. Yeah, so it's like, without those runs, I don't know where the Nets are. But in the second half, the game will be won off the back of those runs. Because often we've done the defensive work, and the minute that occurs, we're running. 13 fast break points in a half is pretty good. We usually have games where we're lacking in that respect, and it definitely means we fall short on an optimal point total. But yeah, I mean, we're in a good sort of space heading into the second half. Whether we win or lose, it's definitely been a valiant performance and has demonstrated quite a few moments of resilience. Now, I don't think Rozier is coming out and scoring 17 in the second half again. He scored a third of their points. So they're going to need to rely on a little bit more from their key players in Herro and Bam. Herro especially, because he's been a pretty quiet performer in this game so far. And from a net standpoint, I mean, the defense is going to be where it's won, because the offense clearly has been lacking in most games. We saw the other day, we conceded 119 to Washington, scored 102 ourselves. So if we scored 102 against Washington, best believe we're not scoring much more against a much better opponent. And in that game, it was the first time that we had conceded over 110 in about 3 weeks or 2 weeks. So that usually results in blowout losses. So definitely, I think the instructions would have been to elevate the defensive intensity, because it simply was unacceptable the other day. Okay. So 53 all. Third quarter, probably on the verge of commencing in just a couple of minutes now. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We will be back for the Charlotte game in a couple of days' time. Okay. So 53 apiece as we're about to enter the second half of this matchup between the Heat and the Nets. The Heat are sitting in the 6th spot, but they have a couple of teams breathing down their neck with the Magic and the Pistons. I'm just trying to zoom in to see what. Let me have a look. Yeah, I mean, the Pistons and the Magic are on the same amount of wins, but their losses aren't helping them. So this is a pretty important game for Miami. You know, the 6th seed is going to be pretty coveted, because that's like an automatic entry into the playoffs. And in the East, it doesn't seem like you need to be an absolute god to lock that spot down. So third quarter about to start here. Got some Iron Eagle shenanigans going on here. Alrighty. Let's see what the Nets have got. It's going to be an entertaining second half, at least I hope. How are we tied with the sixth seeded Heat? Probably not out tanking the big three, but if the Raptors get better, we might get a top 5 pick. We need to clarify it's top 5 odds. It's not the top 5 pick. Because we could get higher, we could get lower. Nothing is guaranteed with the lottery these days. Nets are into a set now. Bounce pass into Claxton, who will turn and score with the left hand over Ware. That is much easier than... Or he made it look a lot easier than it actually was. 55-53 the score. Herro. Guarded by Keon Johnson on the outside. Robinson will be forced into a kick out. Ware. Top of the key for Herro. That 3 is a little far right. And the Nets will get a rebound. And look to get into a set early. Cam Johnson. Stagger step. Screen by Claxton. Cross court to D'Lo. Corner tray. That is well off. And Herro gets the rebound off hands. Herro. Oh, wow. That's way too easy. I don't know what the hell Keon Johnson was thinking. Got the impression that Herro was going to drive it down the middle and accelerate, but in the end, Herro just, with the drag back move, was able to create a lot of space on the 3. Claxton puts the head down. Shoots with the left. How has he scored that? Circus shot. That is the luckiest bank in I've ever seen. And Clax is our opening 4 points of the quarter. Herro has Johnson in all sorts. Herro missed the 2-pointer. And the Nets can build on a very slim lead. Claxton. There's a knock out of bounds. What is going on? Oh, it's Iron Eagle's birthday as well. So Mr. Whammy and Iron share the same birthday. That is great work. That's so funny. Iron Eagle or RJ just said, "Oh my god, we have another technical. Are you kidding me?" Fucking bullshit, man. That is so dumb. Another fucking free throw. Just and you can just see Geordie mouth the words, "It's bullshit." Fourth technical of the game. Our whole team's gonna get fucking teed up by the end of this match. What was I gonna say? RJ asked Iron, "Do you have a birthday wish?" And Iron just said, "Well, you're still here." So that's an ultimate stab wound for RJ. Who's incredibly harmless, by the way. Just cops a load of strays by the yes staff. Russell will drive in. Good backdoor cut. Johnson, man. Russell's backdoor cut passes are just too low for the man. Johnson hangs off one leg and he's tried the impossible. And that's off. And a rebound for Ware, who's in double figures for rebounding. Robinson. Couple screens set. Good defense. Bam's going to shoot a three. And he'll hit the three. And Geordie's going to call a timeout. Every single time we get a little bit of momentum, they call some bullshit tech. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. These technical fouls are fucking doing my head in, bro. Just give me a technical, bro. You might as well give me a technical. Like, get fucked. Seriously. The amount of technical fouls. There's been 5 in this game, and we've had 2.5 minutes elapse in the third quarter. Like, get absolutely stuffed. Like, this is an absolute joke. I want to see if Nets Twitter are going off about this. These techs are actually fucked. I don't care, like, I'd rather we lose, but... Brother, it's not even like... Like, they're not even hiding it at this point. It's so blatant. Like, any danger in us lasting for 5 minutes without tanking... Like, not tanking. Without us getting a technical foul for absolutely stuff all. Be just absolutely magnificent. Wouldn't it? So, yeah. Halftime, 62-57 the scoreline at this stage. And so far out the gate, the Nets have taken a couple of very difficult shots. Claxton's scored a couple of circus shots and accounts for our entire total. But the Heat have hit a couple of three-pointers, and yeah, I don't think Geordie's particularly happy with the defense we're playing. Geordie in extended conversation with the referees. Let's have a look at... Was this a foul on Duncan Robinson? Oh my god, they've called a technical foul on Geordie because he walked out on the floor trying to call a review, and the referees couldn't even see that we wanted the review. Fucking shambles. Fucking shambles, man. These officials are inept. Claxton on the perimeter will look for Cam Johnson, who will step back and shoot a three ball. He created the space quite nicely. It's off. Claxton did well. Johnson, Claxton off hands. It somehow ends up with the Miami Heat. So fortune favors them. Herro, pump fake and drive in, lost the ball. D'Lo with the steal. And there are just bodies flying. Looks like Herro's going to get picked up with the personal here. We've got 4 technical fouls. You might as well give Mr. Whammy a technical foul because he's interfering with the Miami free throws. Keon Johnson will sit. It looks like that is just a set rotation at this point to play Wilson 3 minutes into each half. We had a pretty good first half, by the way, mind you. Russell. D'Lo shoots with the left, and that's a nice looking left-handed floater. Is it a tough game from the field, but that is a welcomed bucket. The lead is 3. Herro bounces it to Robinson. High screen by Ware, who rolls. He's got Johnson on him now. They don't test it, though. Highsmith, oh, my God. That was nearly the most ridiculous alley-oop gem I've seen for Ware. Instead, the Nets go the other way, and Claxton in transition gets the layup. And Clax has been a man possessed in this second half. He's already got more points in this half than he did in the entire first half, and we've only had the 4 minutes elapse. I swear he has this moment. Ware with another lob jam. And it's pretty clear with Ware and Adebayo, there's going to be a mismatch. And it's just going to result in issues. You have to have, well, it's sort of a tough situation. Clax misses with the left hand this time, so definitely taking more shots in this second half. That's going to be out of bounds and off Miami. Robinson was looking for the cutter along the baseline, which was Highsmith, but that was, well, it got caught in his hands, and net basketball it is. It's just a tough situation because Clax is probably the most physical player you can get on Adebayo, but then you also need him to protect the lob threat, which is Ware, but Clax can't be in 2 positions at once. And so Zaires got his hands full. Nearly 5 minutes gone in this third quarter. Robinson over 2 defenders. Is able to get it back to 5. Russell. High screen. Wilson corner tray. That's off. That's off Bam Adebayo when Claxton gets hit. And he's going to be slow to get up there. But he does get up. Clax does well, though. That was a 2-on-1 under the hoop, so... So 66-61. And the Heat get a steal off the inbounds. I think Watford turned it over. He's straight in and straight away, committing to the tank. However, Cam Johnson says no thank you and gets a steal of his own. The Nets go in transition again. It's a kick out. Wilson had Johnson open, and instead he's just passed it straight to Duncan Robinson. It's gone from an open 3 to a beautiful alley-oop jam on the other end, and that is another net turnover, which we just haven't looked after and that is now a foul. Johnson wants to, well, he's pleading to the official that he was going up. God, these defenders are absolutely napping, bro. All right. 7-point game. We're nearly at the halfway stage of this third quarter. It's been a bit of a long slog. Tosin's into the match. Watford, of course, out there now. Tyrese Martin's on the floor. Oh, for fuck's sake, he nearly turned it over again. Tosin. He's going to drive on Highsmith there. Oh, that's tough. It's going to be a foul on Highsmith, and he's going to be asking the question as if to say, what the hell is that for? And I reckon he's got a pretty good case. So Tosin at the free throw line for another trip. The Nets here at the line for the first time in this second half now. And that one goes clank. So the Nets have not been great at the line in their last few. One more for Tosin. That goes in. Splits the pair. And Clax try to commit to the steal, which means that Bam now winds up in a mismatch. He's doubled, and Watford does well and gets tripped up by Adebayo. So is that going to be a clear path? Sorry, a take foul? It's a great double team there by Watford, who snuck up from behind. So play will resume. Tyrese Martin is the primary ball handler, so we're cooked. Watford drives in on Highsmith, tries to exploit the mismatch. Oh, God, that was high arcing. And it got over the outstretched arms of Ware, but didn't go down. He didn't get the roll. And the Heat can get this up to a much more sizable margin. There's a foul on... Who is that even on? Goodness me, he got up so high. Ware is just a rebounding freak. I mean, look at the size of him. He's got 8 points and 12 rebounds, but it does feel like he's had a lot more impact on the game than that. Purely for the attention he takes away from Adebayo, it feels like at times. Herro, drive on Martin, picks up the dribble, double, and oh my God, how have they ended up with the fucking ball again? The three's off, and it's a good box out by Tosin. Claxton was able to get it uncontested. He'll leave it to Martin. And now Cam Johnson on the wing. He's got Duncan Robinson on him. He'll feed it into the low post. The kick out back to Johnson. The 3-point look was on offer, and he knocks it down to cut it back to 3 points. So 5 or so minutes to play. Sole possession. Herro gets inside, shoots a tough right-handed floater. He hung in the air, and that went swish. 5 minutes to play, 5-point game. Johnson the drive in. Oh, well, I thought he was going to lob it up to Claxton, which is what some of our other players would tend to do, but he did it all himself. And Johnson with 5 straight points. Adebayo is going to take Claxton off the dribble and shoot a tough 2, which was a rim grazer. Great defensive effort there. And the Nets can tie this game if they really want to. Watford fakes the handoff to Cam Johnson, but I think he's looking there. He's gesturing for it. Watford needs help. 7 to shoot. Tosin, guarded by Highsmith, is going to cross him up, take him inside, shoot with the right, and that one's short as well. So similar fortunes on both ends after Bam was short with a similar shot on the previous play. Herro trying to shake off Tosin. Watford comes over to double, and that rattles out. And the Nets need to be a bit more assertive here, I feel. Watford the Euro, and he just lost the ball, and Bam saves. Oh my God, that's got to be a take foul. Let me see if... That's a great recovery there by Herro, but Highsmith was the man who actually stripped Watford going up. That very well could have been a clear a take foul. I wouldn't be surprised if that was a take foul. But it's just going to be Heat from the side. Rozier's back in, so the danger man. Jaquez is on the floor. Jovic on the floor as well. Dayron's back in. Good knock away by Watford. Dayron, please stop dribbling the basketball. You can't do it. Tosin, out to Wilson. Top of the key, picks up his dribble and kicks out to the wing for Martin. The extra to Sharp was knocked away, but the Nets regain it. Open look, Wilson. No. Rebound secured by Miami. It's a great box out. I mean, if Wilson can't make a 3 that wide open, well, then all hope is lost. Bam with great positioning under the basket. He's a physical presence. He's an absolute unit. Rozier to the corner for Herro. And it's partially blocked by Wilson. who's had some good defensive possessions when he's guarded Herro. Watford guarded by Jovic. Will drive inside, body bump on Herro. Layup is off. Sharp with the offensive board. Bam with the rotation across. That was going to be a regulation layup. Tosin's going to try his luck. Herro didn't even dare contest it, which is a bit strange. And the Nets with numerous opportunities to get this game all square. We're finally going to get a timeout. It's felt pretty relentless here. A long stretch of play with minimal stoppage after a very slow start to the second half. And the lead is 3. But both teams have really struggled to get their offense going in this second half. So I think the box score would indicate that very much. Claxton's been a pretty good presence in this second half. He's gone from having 4 points and 3 rebounds to having 10 points and 6 rebounds. So he's doubled the rebounds and more than doubled the point total. And he's been a pretty good presence. Man, the Nets have, outside of that, though, they've really struggled, really. Cam Johnson, always efficient as per usual. He's got another 16 points on good splits. But I tell you what, there is not a lot going on outside of that. Only the 14 points total in the second half. I mean, 6 to Claxton. I think Johnson has 5. So that leaves 1 3-pointer to the rest. And we've nearly got 3 minutes left. Or we've got under 3 minutes left. Only the 1 3-pointer in this second half for Brooklyn. So, that is not helping us one bit. And the free throws have dried up. The turnovers remain a constant, but the Heat have been a little bit more prone to that as well. And amazingly enough, are they shooting? No, they're not shooting 50% from the field. The gap has tightened up in terms of field goals attempted. So, look, the rebounding edge is well in the Nets' favor, +6. But Herro and Bam have definitely been more of a focal point in this second half. Bam's got the 7, Herro's got the 6. And Herro's percentage hasn't been great, so I think we've defended him pretty well. He's also got the 4 turnovers, but the Nets, as we have said time and time again, this Nets team will not win games on the back of their offense. They will win it off the back of their defense, and it's been a good defensive quarter. Only the 17 points conceded. So, look, even despite a poor offensive showing this quarter, they have managed to remain within a sole possession. Purely because of the fact that they are defensively switched on today. They just haven't been all that opportunistic with the opportunities that they have had, which is a little bit of a shame. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for Nets versus Hornets in a couple of days' time. So make sure to drop on by and say hello. That's a pretty important game for the Tank. So make sure to check in and see what's going on with the game and follow along. Heat have got 6 to shoot and they haven't really gotten into a set. Huckers is going to have to put one up over Sharp and he knocks it down like it's absolutely nothing. Without breaking a sweat. It's back up to 6. Watford's looking for Sharp and does well to create that separation and make it convincing. Wilson. To Tosin in the corner. He's going to try his luck for 3. It's off. The rebound secured by Rozier. And Dayron almost tackled him out of bounds. It's a 4-on-4. Sharp is guarding Rozier on the outside, which is going to result in one outcome, and it's not going to be a good one. Step back 2 over Sharp. Good defense. I'm surprised Rozier didn't attack the rim there with that disadvantage that the Nets were facing. Sharp has got Rozier on him in the fucking post. Get the ball there. The double's going to come over, and it's going to open up the 3 for someone. Herro did well to save it, but I think he stood on the sideline. And there was a fair bit of noise coming from the Heat bench. They didn't feel as if he stood on the sideline. So Russell back in for the final 90 seconds. Watford's had a good stint, but the offense needs a little bit of a kick up the arse. And D'Lo may be able to provide it. The ball comes into Sharp. Wilson, 3 to shoot. He's got to put one up. And that 3 is off. Martin is able to get the board. Oh my goodness. We are a lucky, lucky franchise. Terry Rozier with the hand in the back fouled Jalen Wilson. If Wilson didn't get that ball, it was going to be a 3-man fast break for Miami without any Nets numbers back. So not only that, but it's resulted in 2 free throws for the Nets, but they've seemingly forgotten how to make free throws because after making every single free throw for their first 10 attempts, they have fallen off a cliff in that respect. Wilson makes 1 of 2 again, so 5-point game. Rozier with the ball now. As we close in on the final minute of this third quarter, Rozier will pass off to Jovic, who nearly had the chair taken out from underneath. He's going to feed Bam in the post. Sharp's going to be the man guarding. Squares up to the basket. Shoots a baseline 2. That is incredible. There is nothing you can do about that. He's forced the high arcing shot because Dayron's remained glued. Russell has been fouled on the floor. It's not on the shot. So it was at the 3-point line. He's going to get 2 attempts. Not the 3 that you would conventionally get if you're fouled on the outside. But the Nets getting a couple opportunities here to beef up their scoring total in this quarter. So Russell for 2. Oh my God. Is there a lid on that basket? These free throws, man. Leaving a lot of points on the table here. And 1 more for D'Angelo. And that one goes in. So we've become professionals at only making 1 free throw at the line. It's a 6-point lead. Rozier will hold with Jovic, Bam, Herro, and Jaquez, the 5 on the floor. They're going to look for Bam in the post again. That is a high pass to Jaquez. Herro drives in. Layup. And Dayron isn't able to get there in time. The Nets are going to go early. It's Wilson who drives it in. The kick out to Russell. Falling away for 3. It's off. And the Nets don't need to be stupid. Don't put another 3 up. It's off. Wilson gets the board and puts it in. So Jalen Wilson's been very good on the offensive glass. And I feel like it had been a lost art in his game for quite some time. But he's done well to bring that back in the last couple of games. There's like a 0.5 second difference between shot and game. The Heat will hold for 1, and it looks like the Nets had the foul to give. So with 5 seconds to go, the Heat will have to inbound this ball and get into a set pretty quickly. So that stunts the momentum a little bit. All right, so 5 seconds left. The lead is 6. The last thing you want is to concede a 3 on this final shot. They're probably going to try open up Robinson or Herro for a look. And it comes into Herro, who falls away for 2 and he's off. And a board by Sharp. He's going to heave 1 up. And that hits the backboard, but it might as well have gone into the 15th row. And that is 3-quarter time. So 24-18 edge for Miami in that third quarter. That is the biggest disparity there's been in a quarter. The Nets have done well to keep the Heat pretty well retained on the offensive side of the ball for them. But that third quarter, the Nets offense definitely took a bit of a hit, and they're going to need to recover drastically in order for us to win this game. Wilson's got the 8 points, Johnson with the 6, Tosin with the 5, but those guys have not struck the efficiency they usually hit. Even D'Lo's been highly inefficient. Claxton had a pretty good third quarter, a lot more assertive, but him and Cam Johnson aside, there really was not any supporting cast. And the free throws definitely took a hit in that third quarter. We went 3 of 6. So 3 points could be awfully handy at the end of this game, especially when you're looking at the free throw difference, 18-8. So that could count for a lot. The Nets also went 1 of 10 from 3, yet, well, in that quarter, and only trail by 6. So consider themselves getting out of the woods, because for us to only be down 6 with that being the situation, that is an incredible bit of fortune, I would say. Herro and Bam Adebayo played they did play the entire third quarter, so they'll get a little rest and then play most of the fourth, but those guys hitting nearly 40 minutes. Obviously, they're in their youth, they're in their prime, they can hit that, but a little bit questionable playing a tanking Nets team and giving Herro and Bam close to 40 minutes. Because I imagine they're going to strike maybe 36 to 39 minutes, if anything. So it's going to be interesting to see what their rotation is down the stretch here, and whether they go all in. Okay. So 1 quarter to play. I feel like the Nets need to crack 100 if they want to win this match, and that would be 29 points. It's achievable. They did that in the first quarter. But the defensive effort really was supplying those 28 points. So there's a bit of work to do on the defensive side of the ball. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back in a couple of days for Nets Hornets. I think it's also, when we hit a stoppage in play or like a timeout, we'll have a look at the other scores around the grounds and see what is transpiring around the league, because there's quite a few games that concern us. Huckers going to drive on Williams and is able to score the reverse, and Williams was easily moved on that sequence. So, good start for Miami. 8-point lead. Oh my fucking God, bro. You cannot set a hard screen in the modern NBA, because any subtle hit, bro, he's just running to his arm. Oh, there's nothing you can do when you're just getting absolutely, that is just an absolute stitch up. So the Heat will get the ball here. They're looking for Huckers again in the post, and there's a travel on Jovic. That's an incredibly careless possession there, and a bit of a throwaway, if I'm going to be completely honest. 79 to 71. Russell. Going to drive in. Cannot get the whistle. And then the Heat, they just threw the ball away without even getting a pass off. So the Nets will have another reprieve here. Williams is closed out well. Dayron will shoot with the right, and he gets the soft bounce on the rim. So the Nets turn glitter into gold on that play. And it's back down to a 6-point game for the Heat. Rozier will send it across to Huckers. The high screen by Ware, who will roll. But the Nets cover that outlet well, and Rozier will look to cross up D'Angelo Russell with the clock winding down. Huckers down the middle, the Euro step, the block by Sharp. The Nets will run, and they don't have the numbers, but they do have the pace on the ball. Martin, the 3, that's off. Williams gets the board and scores off glass. So the Heat won't be particularly happy with that, because 2 opportunities, which, have initially resulted in nothing for Brooklyn, have wound up actually being 2 successful trips for the Nets, and it's back down to a 4-point game with 10 minutes to play in this match. Let's have a look around the league. Oh, come on, man. The Spurs are up on the fucking Hornets. Are you kidding me? Let's have a look. Can the Hornets get a game winner is my question. Was it De'Aaron Fox who hit the winner? Switch. Oh my God, he did the shake and bake and hit the jumper in the mid-range. So are the Hornets going to go for the win? I imagine LaMelo Ball's going to be that guy. The Cavaliers are going to beat the Wizards. Hornets have 8 seconds to get a shot off. I want to look around the league, but I can't actually see. Toronto down by 8. Of course, the Hornets have not been down all game until the final 8 seconds. Elite tank job. So I'm imagining the Hornets are going to go with LaMelo or Bridges, but they've got Seth Curry as well. Please, Charlotte, just get a victory. It's like the other day, I was so gunning for Utah when they beat Golden State. I watched that whole fourth quarter like I was a diehard Utah supporter. Let's see what the Hornets have got here, because I reckon, well, they're going to use the whole clock. I reckon they go for the win. And God, the Hornets commentator's going to go ballistic if they hit a shot to win the game. Let's see. 8 seconds for the Hornets to make it work. Let's have a look. Let's see. It's an interesting play draw up. Oh my God, and they've got to call a fucking timeout. Of course they do. Spurs play great defense there. Who, of course, have a lot to play for. So one more timeout's going to need to be exhausted. And I'm going to need to wait a little bit more. What has been the scoring in the last quarter? Spurs 35-22 in the fourth. So, of course, the Spurs have just exponentially grown in their output offensively. Okay. So 79-75, 10-22 to play here in this fourth quarter. Ball inbounded to Rozier. Russell, Tosin, Zaire, Martin, and Day'Ron Sharpe, the 5 on the floor. Oh, that was nearly a backcourt violation. Good defense by Russell. Heat walking a tightrope. They turn it over. The Nets can go again. Tosin, Williams. That's a very loopy pass cross court. It was perfectly weighted, though. Martin didn't want the 3, though. He's actually taken tougher shots in this game alone. Good dump off by Tosin to Day'Ron Sharpe, who scores with the left hand and cuts it to 2. The Nets have scored 6 straight points, just as it looked like Miami were getting away. Jaquez faces up at the rim. Spin move on Russell. Definitely dragged his foot. How have you not seen that? Ware misses, and a good gang rebounding effort by Brooklyn. Russell will push. 3 on the pull-up. Yes! Nets of 9 in a row. And meanwhile, the Hornets have used their final timeout. They get it into ball. Drive in. Kick out. Bridges open 3. Yes! 1 second to play. The Hornets have taken the lead with 1 on the clock. That is a very, very good tanking result, but it is not over yet. The Spurs have 2 timeouts remaining. They're going to use 1 now, but 1.5 seconds. The Hornets just need to lock in defensively, and they've got the W. Meanwhile, the Heat have the basketball on the baseline with the Nets up by 1. I didn't hear Eric Collins, but I can imagine he went crazy. Day'Ron, what? Oh my God. Day'Ron's recovery was excellent as the help defender. Where's the foul? Oh, it's D'Lo on the arm. For fuck's sake, bro. It's got to be D'Lo, man. What is he doing? So Bridges obviously wasn't... We're talking about the other game. Bridges wasn't remotely interested in tanking. Ware at the line. Gets the free throw to go. 1 more free throw would result in a double-double. The Spurs just need to score the ball. They got Fox and they got Wembanyama out there now. They're going to go for the Wemby lob. Ware makes both. I've got my eyeballs like looking like in all sorts of directions right now. I'm not even paying attention to the Nets game at the moment. D'Lo's got another 3. Is he going to hit it? Yes, he is. He's feeling it. Meanwhile, the Spurs inbound it to Fox. 3. Oh! You're kidding! Wait, it was waved off. Or was it in? I don't know. Was the ball still in De'Aaron Fox's hands? He's just hit a ridiculous 3 off balance. The ball was in his hands. Let's go. Hornets are going to win. Let's go. And Eric Collins is going nuts. D'Lo's feeling it. Oh, the 3's off. The putback is no good. Oh, God, the Heat are going to run. In transition, Rozier hangs. He missed the floater. Williams with the board. There's just action going on everywhere, and D'Lo gets swatted by Nikola Jovic. The Nets have the lead, and they can get it out to a 2-possession game. I want to see how nuts Eric Collins went when the Miles Bridges 3 went in. He would have gone absolutely batshit crazy. Just watching that back, I wish we had Eric Collins as our commentator. He's so fucking funny. He's so good. So that's a game winner and a half. Watford's got to get it into Williams. He's got Rozier on him in the corner. The Nets can play pretty patient as we enter the final 8 minutes. D'Lo's gone to the bench because we're not tanking effectively. Yet Martin is going to continue the scoring punch of the fourth quarter for the Nets. And the lead is 4. I don't know what our biggest lead is in the game. We've just allowed a Rozier 3 to be stepped into. The Nets fight amongst each other for the rebound. And it's Day'Ron Sharpe who will give it to Watford. Cam Johnson's ready to come into the game. Watford's going to take it downhill and score the layup. The Nets are on an extended run. Their largest lead of the night is right now. Jovic, good tie-up. Oh, what? How was there not a tie-up? Watford and Jovic had a coming together for a long time there. The Nets are currently on a 16-2 run. I talked about runs being important in this game, and that was going to dictate the way this game is played, and that is exactly what we are witnessing here right now. It's going to be Heat ball here with 7:22 to play. The ball's inbounded to Bam. That is too easy, but he misses the runner, and Claxton is going to hold the ball. Oh my God, we nearly stuffed it up there. 16-2 run in not even 4 minutes. Martin tries to pick the most ridiculous pass of all time. He knows what's up. Rozier's got a corner 3, and that is good. What a surprise. A turnover leads to a bucket. Tyrese Martin is a man on a mission. He's actually got a Miami Heat jersey on underneath. Not the only Martin to have a great game for the Miami Heat every so often. And I'm referring to... Oh my God, he's put a 3 up. What the fuck is he doing? That is... Oh my God. If we win this game with this bum playing to close the game out... Oh my God, that is embarrassing. 2 consecutive plays. He's just halted us in our tracks. Keon Johnson's getting ready to come in. Rozier the scoop. The block by Claxton. He got there before the ball hit the basket. Before it hit the backboard, should I say. Watford was ready to scoop in another layup. And Geordie obviously is with the tanking effort as well because he halted Watford as he was going downhill. Oh, Clax got there in the nick of time. A timeout called here by Miami. The lead is 3. So the Nets have flipped this game on its head once again. The Heat up by 8 or as much as 8 to start this quarter. But the Nets have just clawed this one right back into their favor. 16 points to 7 so far in this fourth quarter. For context, the Nets had 18 points the whole third quarter. And I also did say it three-quarter time. The offense, well, that just needs a significant boost in the fourth because they're not going to win this off defense while being down by 6. The offense needs to take center stage. Tyrese Martin playing is the ultimate tanker's move, even though he is a +9 in the plus-minus, which is pretty funny to me. D'Angelo has taken control. He's gone from being pretty much a no-show in the first half to scoring 17 in the game. And his percentage is definitely boosted in the last couple of minutes. For the Heat, Adebayo and Herro have been basically missing this entire fourth quarter. Bam's played a chunk of it, or only a couple of minutes, should I say. Herro the same. And Rozier only just scored his first 3 of the second half. First points of the second half. 18 minutes into this half. So definitely going to be interesting to see how these final 6 minutes go. But it is admirable to see this Nets team competing once again. Whatever the result may be, I'm not too fussed. Alrighty. So, good shift by this team. That's for sure. I don't imagine Nets Twitter's going to be particularly happy with what's going on. All right. So the Hornets end up winning. That's going to help us out. The Cavs end up winning by 10. The Raptors are down by 11. The Hawks are beating Milwaukee somehow, and they've got like their full team available, Milwaukee. And the Hawks are playing a bunch of bums, and they're supposed to be tanking, but, well, they got Trae Young, so it's always going to help them out. Nets have got Cam Johnson, Keon Johnson, Watford, Williams, and Claxton, the 5 on the floor, so Martin the terrorist heads to the bench. Watford with a saucy move, but he's well held by Jovic. Cam Johnson has Rozier guarding him, so a bit of a size advantage there. And he's going to exploit that and shoot a 2. And he knocks that down in the mid-range to get the lead back up to 5. So he's up to 18 on the game. The Nets have tied their season high in blocks. They've got 9 of them. Claxton leading the way with 3. He's now guarding Adebayo on this possession. Herro on the wraparound. He's got Johnson guarding. Steps into a 3. It's an air ball. Who are you? Herro started the game really, really well from the field, but since that point, it has just taken a downward spiral. Inside the final half of this fourth quarter, Nets got to get it by the half-court line. Inside the final 6 minutes, 89-84, Watford takes it downhill, picks up his dribble, and back out to Keon Johnson. That's good defense initially by Jovic. He's going to guard Keon Johnson here. Hands it off to Cam Johnson. Steps back over Jovic. Doesn't get the bounce. And Larson's into the game. So they're looking for a little bit of punch off the bench. Haven't gotten it from a number of other players. Herro blocked by Keon Johnson this time. That's a season high. 10 blocks. Claxton with the left. Doesn't get the bounce. Johnson put too much on it. And then Claxton, third bite of the cherry, is able to get the follow-up. And another timeout, and that is the largest lead for Brooklyn yet again. Good persistence on the glass. Keon Johnson, man, just jumping all over the place. I mean, good persistence. He got a vital hand in there. And, man, that's great work. I mean, Claxton finished it all off, but Keon Johnson ultimately should be credited with those points. So the Nets are leading this one by 7 with 5 minutes to play. And full context, at three-quarter time, they were down by 6. They have outscored the Miami Heat in this quarter 20-7. And the Heat have been forced into another timeout in a little bit of a shambolic place. They've not been able to buy a bucket in this fourth quarter. 5 minutes to play. And yeah, the Nets are in a far more commanding position. Their offense has looked great. Definitely on pace to hit. Well, I did say the Nets are going to need to score 100 to win this match. and they look well on track to getting there. But, you know, the Nets are very much prone to slumping down the stretch, and they may struggle to hit the 100-point mark if they do experience a slump. So, 91-84. Nets in command. Rozier, Larson, Herro, Jovic, and Bam, the 5 on the floor. There's a foul. It is on Claxton. He's been pretty responsible and disciplined with his fouling today. But that one's a little bit of a soft one. And an easily conceded one. So inside the final 5 minutes now, the lead at 7. The Heat need to snap out of this lump pretty quickly if they want to have a chance of winning this game, and they don't want to let it get away. Rozier guarded by Johnson. Bounces it into Herro. It's errant. The Nets get the steal. Keon Johnson, Euro. Kick out to Watford. That's a very smart move because Bam was ready to block that. And as a result, it's actually forced a mismatch under the basket. Herro guarding Claxton, and he committed the foul. So the Nets will have to play in the half court. And the Heat do well to stop what would have been an easy 2 points for the Nets. But that being said, turnovers are going to kill them in the end. Got to get it in. Cam Johnson does well to protect the space. He's going to feed Watford, who's guarded by Jovic on the baseline. Wants Johnson to come to him. Beautiful spin by Watford. The pirouette into a layup. The Nets have scored 22 of the last 27 points in a 6.5 minute period. Adebayo picks up his dribble. It's good defense. Rozier's blocked by Claxton. Stay away. You went to the paint. There are caution signs everywhere because it has been a block party at the rim. Claxton with block number 4. Watford, crossover, hangs, scores with the rights. And it's a double figures lead for the Nets. The Heat are shooting 15% in the quarter. Rozier, step back 3. It's off. It's good defense by Watford. Williams will hold. The time is the enemy for the Heat, and it is the best of friends for the Nets. Watford has been the hot hand down the stretch, and this is a guy we didn't want to trade. He's going to let the clock wind down. 6 to shoot. Now guarded by Herro on the switch. Drives in. Hangs. The kick out to Williams. Got to put one up. 3. Doesn't get enough lift. Rozier will gather. They've got to move a lot quicker now as we close in on the final 3 minutes. Herro guarded by Watford. Is he going to pull up for 3? Nope. He's forced into a pass. Rozier blows by. Extra. Adebayo top of the key. That's short. The rebound by Claxton. And he's going to protect the ball and hand it to Watford, who has been ever so reliable. The Nets are plus 20 on the glass. Plus 20. And we talked about that being very important at halftime. Whoever can capitalize on those will succeed. Watford's got to put one up late in the clock, and that hits back rim. Herro fumbled the rebound. It's going to be Nets basketball, and they can chew up more clock. The lead is 11. The Heat have scored, I repeat, 7 points in 9.5 minutes, and it has gone from a 6.3 quarter time lead to Miami to an 11-point deficit. They've been cooked by Trendon Watford, who is now sitting on the sideline, having put in an absolute shift. Russell is back in. Johnson will cross Herro up and attack him. He blows the layup. Claxton the putback 2. It's no good. So the door remains ajar. Herro's going to need to pull up. And that 3 is long. The rebound by Claxton again. And he's swatted by Bam Adebayo. And it's going to be net basketball after that Bam Adebayo hit. 2:16 to play in the 4th. And I don't know what the hell has happened to Miami in this 4th quarter. We talked about defense being the way the Nets are going to win games of basketball, but I didn't expect it to this extreme. 7 points to this stage of the 4th quarter. The Nets are going to accelerate, but they don't need to really rush. A season high in rebounding as well. So a lot of categories, they are topping the ranks for this season. And that is why they lead by 11 now and have held Miami to 84 points. Russell doubled. Johnson. Corner three. Johnson. Yes! Night. Oh my God. Hell, we up 14. We've scored 11 in a row unanswered in the last 4.5 minutes. Adebayo will shoot a 2. He's bumped by Claxton. A fair bit of physicality, but that's the way this fourth quarter has transpired for Miami. Nothing has come easily. And Adebayo will get 2 free throws as we enter in the final 2 minutes of this match. The Nets have won 3 of their last 4, and as it currently stands, it's looking well on track to be 4 of the last 5. Adebayo will shoot a pair, and that first free throw goes down to cut it to 13. That free throw right there, which has been converted, if Bam converts this one, it'll be their 8th and 9th points of the entire quarter. And Bam makes both. So the Heat are going to need to play incredibly smothering defense and make all their shots. D'Lo gets it past half court with minimal trouble. He is going to get blitzed, and so the Nets need to be responsible with the ball, but we're inside the final 90 seconds. Cross court to Johnson. He's going to pull the trigger again. He's feeling it, and he misses. So, bit of an interesting decision. Herro's probably going to need to shoot a 3. Huckers airballs the 3. Larson isn't remotely interested in the 2. Herro gets blocked by D'Lo from behind. Johnson is going to get up. 100 up. Game over. Night, Miami. 100-86. We said 100 is the magic number, and they have cracked it. Beautiful. And we've got a $1 donation. Hornets549, thank you for the donation, buddy. Appreciate the little tip. This is, mate, that block right there by D'Lo just sums it up. I mean, that is the 11th block of the night. It is a season high. D'Lo's loving it. He jumped with Keon Johnson. And so D'Lo's loving it. And you know what? I mean, it's like, we're not supposed to win, but what do you want me to do? Sit in silence and be down in the dumps that we have held the Heat to a whole 9 points. 9 points in the fourth quarter. 9. Look, I did say that I wanted a defensive effort to close this one out, but I did not anticipate it being this incredibly lopsided to close the game. The Nets have scored 29 points to 9 and have achieved a 20-point swing. That's so funny. D'Lo going up with Johnson at the same time. So, with 109 to play, the Nets don't need to do anything stupid. I mean, if they concede 14 in 70 seconds, it would be one of the most ridiculous short, quick comebacks of all time. It would bypass McGrady. We've blocked another 3! Get sent! Robinson will shoot the 3. That is an air ball. Good defense. It's knocked off Williams as Rozier was falling out of bounds, but goodness me. Blocks everywhere. There's blocks on layups. There's blocks on 3-point shots, mid-ranges. I mean, you name it. The Nets are playing a bit of zone here. They get another steal off the inbounds. This defensive performance to close the game out has been nothing short of remarkable. 9 points. The Heat are 2 of 20. 2 of 20. Watford takes it downhill and beats Bam Adebayo. Defensive Player of the Year. Who? The Heat are going to hope to crack double figures with a make here. They are 2 of 20. They're 10% from the field. Adebayo is going to shoot a 3 and brick it. And that is going to be the exclamation point. The Nets have held Miami to 9 points in the fourth quarter. That is not a typo. That is not a typo. We have held them to 9 points and 2 of 21 shooting and have scored 31 of our own to turn a 6-point deficit at three-quarter time into a 16-point win. I do not know what to tell you, man. 9 points. That has nothing to do with the personnel you have out there because that is entirely an effort thing. That's entirely an effort thing. That is down to whether you show up or not. Every single player needs to rock up for you to concede 9 points in a game of basketball or in a quarter of basketball. That doesn't come down to the offensive talent you have. We only scored 102 points again. It wasn't an offensive masterclass by any stretch. We did have a very good offensive fourth quarter. We shot over 50%, something that, well, was far exceeding what we did in the first three quarters. But if the Heat just have if the Heat do what they did in the previous three quarters, we're in overtime at minimum. They probably win the game. Instead, I mean, we're looking at some crazy results here, or just a crazy stat line in the fourth quarter. 2 of 21 for Miami. That is just, I cannot wrap my head around that. I don't know how many single-digit fourth quarters there have been, or just quarters generally speaking, but Bam and Tyler Herro just fell off the face of the earth in the fourth quarter. Face of the earth. And that is the fourth win in 5 games. Who would have thought this team's supposed to be tanking? Goodness me. We lost to the Wizards. And have beaten the Rockets twice and the Heat. Make it make sense. Overall, as I said, offense, not really remotely surprising. Only the 102 points. No one cracked 20 points in the entire match, which I don't think has happened too many times this year. But definitely the experienced heads played a much better game than they did last time out against the Washington Wizards. Clax with the 12 points, the 10 rebounds, the 4 blocks, the 1 assist, and the 1 steal on top of that. But we had 4 players with 2 or more blocks. Trendon Watford was given the keys down the stretch, and he was a plus 19 in his 22 minutes, ending the game with 12 points on 6 of 11 shooting. I think we've also got to remember Day'Ron Sharp's minutes were pretty good in the fourth quarter. And, D'Angelo hit some big buckets earlier in the fourth quarter. Keon Johnson with 11 and 8. A great defensive performance on Herro. He will not get his flowers, but he hit, he had some good makes late in the game. However, the defense was the thing that really talked to me. And Zaire Williams as well. Great defensive work earlier in the fourth quarter to really flip the game on its head, really. And we talk about turnovers and how the Nets probably didn't do a great job in the first half of forcing those. The Heat had 6 turnovers in the fourth quarter. And on top of that, as we said, they only made 2 field goals in the entire fourth quarter. So they just hit an absolute wall. And even though the Nets weren't hitting their threes at a great percentage, I mean, any team that scores 9 points in a quarter is probably going to end up the losing side unless you score like 40 in another quarter. And the Nets never let that happen. The even more impressive thing, the Nets did not have a free throw in that fourth quarter and still were able to manage 31 fourth quarter points, only hitting 3 3-pointers. They did a great job of running the break And I also do need to check the team stats because I think that'll tell you a lot about how this game transpired. 57 rebounds to 39, so plus 18 edge on the glass. Wasn't really an edge, it was an absolute domination. 18 offensive boards to 11, so the Heat only with the 3 offensive rebounds in the second half. Does make me question why Khalil Ware wasn't playing a lot in that second half. But here are the big numbers. 8 steals, 13 blocks, and the turnovers evened up to the point where we were able to sort of even that out a little. Fast break points, very, very similar, but the points in the paint, 52 to 34. We only allowed 12 points in the paint in the second half, and that correlates with them only scoring 33 in the entire second half. So I'm pretty sure that's the lowest total we've conceded this season. I think it's also the lowest amount of points we've conceded in a half this season. I think it's also, it wouldn't be far off our biggest win of the season. And we've also had season highs for blocks, and there's one other figure that I cannot remember. But blocks is the big one. Oh, and rebounds. Rebounds have never been as large as they were today. So there's nothing you can do from a tanking standpoint. We've scored 102 points again. Offensively, nothing special. Defensively, incredibly special. I mean, I guarantee that some of it was down to poor shot selection, but the Heat just hit a wall and the Nets defensively were on song. They responded superbly from, the last game we played against Washington. We allowed fucking 119 points to Washington. We conceded 65 points in a half to the Wizards, and then 31 points in a fourth quarter. Well, we completely flipped that game, into some positive learnings and positive feedback, some hard truths, and it's turned into this outcome. To hold a team to 86 points is impressive in the modern NBA, especially when you've got a player like Herro and you've got Bam Adebayo out there. I don't think they scored a point in the fourth quarter, aside from a couple free throws. So that's an incredible win. We're going to be back here in a couple of days' time for what could potentially be a 5th win in 6 games. That's the craziest thing to me right now. I think there's a few tough ones after the All-Star break, but this little stretch right here, I could not have expected it, to be completely honest. I could have expected maybe wins against Charlotte and the Wizards, but instead we've beaten Houston twice and knocked off Miami. So, this season is bloody full of surprises, I'll tell you that much. We're done here, though. So, if you did enjoy the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back in a couple of days, so make sure to do that so you're notified as to when I go live next. But until then, enjoy the win. Have a great rest of your day. We'll chat to you soon. Bye for now.